Salut tout le monde. Well, a lot of people are still in isolation or keeping distance, but that doesn't mean you can't be hospitable. And in today's episode, a family member of mine wanted some West African food, and I said, sure, from a safe distance. And so that's what we're going to be doing today on Bill's Comfort Food. Also, I received a few texts about, could you provide me some tips and pointers and what to do in the kitchen or how to operate or how to use certain tools? So I said, sure, it'll be in there. Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to discuss the working parts of a chef's knife. Now here we have a standard 9-inch chef's knife. There are two basic parts. We have the tip, which is to puncture, and then we have the long working edge. Now these are the only two parts of the knife that can cause you any injury, but it's also the parts that help you do your work in the kitchen. So always remember. Now holding a chef's knife requires you put your thumb on one side of the face and your index finger wraps over the spine, which is the back part here, and holds the opposite side. Now this allows for the right amount of force and control to be applied whenever you want to use the edge or the point of your blade. Basically, it's better for control. Now your support hand is there to hold the food or the materials that you're going to be cutting as close to but never beyond the edge. If you put it beyond the edge, you risk injury and cutting. In this particular case, my fingernails are pressed right up against the face of the blade, but never past it. This allows me greater control. I can move about the cutting board. I can always do the kind of work that I need to be doing, but never risk injury. You're close, but not at the point of the working blade. To remove a drumstick from the thigh, you cut along this line of fat. You hold it down on your cutting board, use your knife like I demonstrated, and cut. Now in this particular case, to remove the backbone from the thigh, you have to use your finger to find the place where to cut. So after we put our chicken down on the cutting board and we've cut along the place where our fingers felt, we just pull it apart. Then that'll remove the backbone, and you cut one more time, and that liberates your thigh.
Hey everybody, just a little tip. When you're picking your herbs, pick them in the morning. When the sun gets stronger during the course of the day, a lot of the essential oils and humidity gets evaporated away from it, and it doesn't taste as good. So if you're going to process them, pick them early in the morning. Let's go.
Now, here what I'm doing is I'm going to be removing the meat from the vegetables in the stock. This is basic for most stews. Remember the episode where I made the braised beef? It's the same principle. Sear the meat, then you deglaze the pan, add liquid, you braise your meat for a couple of hours with aromatics, and you have your stew, at least the basics. Now here, I'm removing the goat meat from the vegetable stock, and later on we'll add a tomato base to it, and a few other good things. Now, the goat meat was cooked on the bone to impart more flavor to my stew, but I just removed a lot of the bones, a lot of the smaller bits, just for ease of eating and for comfort. Most North Americans don't like having bones in their food and, showing up and chewing on them, so I remove them. Now here we have the cooking liquid and vegetables from the goat stew. Basically, we remove the meat and bones, and we blend all these together. It's a combination of vegetable stock, carrots, celery, and a few herbs. Now, you could use a blender or a stick blender like I am here, but the main goal is just to make this into a homogeneous mixture, which we will then reduce. And here's our liquid bubbling away. You want it on a higher heat, and you want to reduce it by half. Now, why do we do this? It's to concentrate flavor and to render our final product tastier.
Okay, everybody. Now this is, see this on the little flower here? This is thyme. Now we're going to use this for our goat stew. It's very flavorful. It's good for you. And there's a chemical in it called thymol, which is very good if you have a sore throat or a cough. Works very well. Anyways, grab some of that.
Fry the onion paste, blend the rest, and then mix it together. Now we're going to do chicken yassa. This is a Senegalese dish. Basically, you sear off your chicken that's been marinated in lemon juice and vinegar. You remove the chicken, fry up onions, and you put the chickens back. Now, the leftover marinade of lemon juice and vinegar gets poured back in with the chicken and onions, as you see here. And then we'll add a little more stock, and what we'll wind up doing is we'll cover it. Now this gives the chicken a chance to basically stew out a little bit, and this gives some of the chicken flavor. We blend it, and here's the end result. A nice dish of sour chicken, onions, and all that goodness in one dish. So we put our tomato base, our reduced liquid, and our meat back in one pot. We let it warm up for a few more minutes, and we have goat stew.
Yeah, it was really good. What I gotta say is that I feel like I could travel the world even in quarantine just because I come to Bill's house. So it was absolutely amazing. My favorite was probably the goat.
Thank you.
Yeah.